That's fine. That's fine. I'll cut it. Oh, hi. I think we're live now. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the seven events from Angler Singapore. And today, I'm so happy to hosting my two friends, Bonnie and Sam. And they are gonna give us a lot of cool stuff. But first, we need to look into what is Singapore, Angler Singapore, and how is the community is look like in the Angler community here. So the agenda is going to be simple. So we are going to starting now, and then just a quick introduction, and then we jump directly into the talk, and that's some QA section. And then as the normal schedule, we have the 10 minutes at the end so that you can just come and say hello, or you know need some help, or yeah whatever. Just a general chat, open announcement for everyone. The code of conduct I just give it today, and the next event is gonna be on the 2nd of November. We are trying to do it every first Tuesday of the month, and on the 2nd of November, I'm inviting my friend Cho is also coming over to talk about some like stuff about Notion and Scully, which is quite interesting. But I'm using Gatsby, so okay, maybe I need to migrate it over to Scully. We have the Discord channel. We have the YouTube channel. We have the support. Like basically, you can come and book a 15 minute with us. I have been talking to Tito, I think, and Quincy, and yeah, some other people here. So thanks for taking the time and talk to me. And yeah, you feel free to get another meeting if you feel like. If you wanted to speak at Angler Singapore, drop me a message at twitter.com/angleredg, and then I'll just reach out to you. Just send me what you have, and yeah, we arrange in the upcoming. So we're talking about Angler Nation, which is founded by two speakers that is gonna introduce them later on. But basically, Angler Nation is like the cozy community for everyone. Like love angler. We're talking about angler whole day, and there's a lot of group into the Angler Nation, so that is suitable for you on the time zone. We have Asia Pacific, we have South Asia, we have Europe, and then we have America as well, and yeah, Africa as well. I think there's just too many. Sorry, my brain is I just couldn't keep up with the growing of Anglo Nation, and there's a lot of event coming up. Usually, the very exciting is Howard Track with the Angler team and ask the testing experts, but there's a lot more. So that is how it look in October. We have Aditya tonight at Anglo Africa. We have the Tiger team coming on Friday this week. So you haven't uh, heard about all of this free event, feel free to head to anglernation.net and get an account. There's a lot of cost as well. So there's a premium cost, there's a free cost. If you wanted to upgrade your skill, take the premium cost. But if you're not ready and feel like you need to spend some time to just strengthen your knowledge, you can take all of the free course in Angler Nation. I just listed a few. The list is long. You just come in. I like the IKS part a lot, and I also like the schematic and reactive form. But there's more on Angler Nation. Feel free to join and take a look. And in Singapore, we have Google DevSpace, which is just a community to connect startup and software engineer here. We have Singapore JS, we have Geno Dev Edge, we have TalkCS, React JS, and Angular Singapore. So today, yeah, etiquette, I'll just give it for now. We all familiar with that. And yes, coming to talk today, Angular for the visual learner. So we all know that learning with video is always easier than just reading the text. And Bonnie and Sam will just bring it to the next level with a lot of animation. And did it part of this DOM course, which is ongoing, I think. But yeah, Bonnie will have a lot more to say on that. But before we get started, there's a speaker warm up. So today we have two speakers, and there's always the question. So the question for today is just the same like the previous meetup. I didn't change anything. So for Bonnie and Sam, do you have to delete all application on your phone, but keep three apps? Which one would you keep and why you keep this application on your phone?
Well, I
Over
know
to
which
you.
one Samantha would say for sure. The old Spotify that she cannot live without. If you left her on a desert island with only one app, it would have to be Spotify because the girl lives and breathes with her music lists. And I probably would have, well, I would also have Spotify and probably Reddit and maybe Signal so I could keep in touch with people. But not WhatsApp, not Facebook, not any of that. Oh, Sam's got playlists. Sam's got multiple playlists, Giant.
I make a new one every day, literally like
Wow.
twice a day.
Wow.
I love new playlists. Y'all, I'm addicted to music. It's a problem. But
Yeah,
honestly,
Azari's got a good point. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
I think I could trade Reddit or Signal for Angular Nation. I was actually happy because Samantha and I were trying to talk yesterday and WhatsApp was down. And I was like, oh, but Angular Nation still works. So we were sending messages back and forth. It was great.
Okay, got it. So yeah, Sam, you can send your public profile so that we can all follow you and listen to the same music.
Oh
Yeah, so
yeah, man.
yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah.
Lots of country. Yeehaw!
No, there's
Get
no
your boot scoot
country.
and boogie on, y'all.
Don't worry, there's no country.
Yeah. Anyway, so that is the warm up, and I'll over to you, Bonnie and Sam. This is your TED talk.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you for that amazing intro. And I just want to give you a shout out too, Chung, because I haven't known you that long and I have been so impressed with what you've done in the community. You came in and asked for a channel and I was like, who are you? But you've really, I mean, you're connecting so many to, the Vietnam community and the Singapore community and just having all that overlap. Chung was actually one of the first hosts that was like pressuring me to put more stuff on YouTube. And and now we're putting like almost everything on YouTube. So thank you for, I mean, you're just so willing to help people in the community without asking anything in return. And it's hard to find people like that. And I think that we're all lucky to have you. So shout out to you.
Thank you. Awesome.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a little sad I can't see any of your beautiful faces, but that's okay. I have a very fluffy cat that I can look at, but I can see my
We're
slides.
here with
Okay. Okay, thank you. This is Dom. He's our little robot. We will introduce him in a minute. But welcome to our talk. We focus on making learning fun and visual. And
easy.
It's easy to understand, but the superpower behind these visuals is being able to remember it afterwards, which is, I think, a superpower of these visuals, of this little robot. So, welcome. All right, so our overview, we have a pretty short talk, so we have plenty of time for questions at the end. We're starting off with messy, slow versus clean, fast. This is the two, it's our app and it's done completely the exact same. It looks the exact same, but it's done completely different behind the hood. One is messy and slow and all thrown together. And one is the right way with all of the performance hacks and everything done correctly. And so we'll see the difference between those two. And why you should be very careful around impure pipes.
Yeah.
Am I missing anything?
It actually, well, we started out talking about impure pipes, but it actually kind of morphed into something else because we accidentally found something really cool, or at least to me, it was like, I've been doing Angular for years. I'm a GDE, right? And there was something in there that when we were like, I got confused about something that we were trying to show, and then it actually helped me understand something really cool. And that's what we want to show with you. And this is just a little piece from our visual DOM course, but it's not just like, oh, here's a little preview, go take the course if you actually want to learn something. Like, we want you to actually learn something cool today that will hopefully be helpful for you. And then if you like it, you can come and join us and learn some more, because this is just a little piece from the course, but it's really cool, we think.
Yeah. All right. This is Dom. This is my little friend. And he helps us teach. You will see, he's like our representation of in the app, what's going on behind the scenes on the screen. So we will use him to show when things are going wrong and when things are going right.
Can I just say, before we move on, can you play that one more time? I just want to say, because I don't think you guys have known Samantha very long, but I've known Samantha for a long time. And when she first started teaching Angular, she was literally using claymation, stop motion animation with clay. And if you guys saw Sam, if you get a chance when I'm later when I'm in the code, if you get a chance to go find one of your really, really old videos and post it, I think it would be
It's
really funny,
terrifying.
because I just think, I mean, looking at where you started out and where you are now with this shiny dancing robot is so impressive. So
I was
I
like
just think it would
14
be,
years old.
because it's about the journey. And I just think, like, okay, let's see a show of hands. Who would like to see Samantha's? You know, you guys could probably
Y'all, I
find it.
can't see your hands.
Look, they're raising their hands. Look, we've got 5 hands up right now, and there's only
the most awkward time of my life.
8 hands up, Sam. 9 hands are up right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Put your hands down.
Okay, everyone, put your hands down. I'm going to try to find it. It's out there public, so it's okay. And I'll find it. But I just wanted to say, Sam, that I'm really proud of you, because this dancing robot is so cool, and I want them to see. I want them to see the claymation. It was adorable, you guys.
Yeah,
it's about the journey.
No, it was it's terrifying. So just beware. My little figurines still scare me to this day. So, all right, but we're here, and we've moved up in the world. So we have shiny
just so
chrome robots.
This is probably a lot of code, very small. Don't worry about reading all of this, because we're going to jump, because I have this live in VS Code. And so once we get through the slides, we're going to jump into VS Code, and we're going to see this code, and we're going to talk more about it. So this is just like, we're just kind of laying out the groundwork for what we're going to talk about. So go ahead, Sam.
Yes. Okay. So basically what we want to show here is that all of the ng everythings, which is why it's called ng everything, the ng4s, the ngif, the structural directives, they're all stacked. All of the logic is in one file here. This is not good. It's not dry. I mean, it works. It works, but it's not, when your app is huge, this is not going to be performant code.
This is messy.
This is messy. This is, if you see at the top, it says messy, slow child component, and we will go there in a minute and show it, the app. By the way, Mom, if you haven't fired that up,
I did.
you should. Okay, awesome.
I'm ready.
So great. So we have this messy, slow child, and this is what we don't want, and we will show in the app in a minute. Look at the
Did you see the thumb? Like, this is just a Samantha thing that I did not even know that was going to happen. And I was like, oh, I really like, and then I made her go back and put it on like every slide. I want every, because she had a couple of blue thumbs that didn't flip. And I was like, what? Once, like, it has to, yeah, I love that. Just little fun things that Samantha adds.
I love the flippy thumb.
So if I was teaching by myself, it would just be straight code. There would be no like any flippy thumbs. So
you need flippy thumbs.
I'm glad you're here.
Sam. You're welcome. I love you. Okay, so I'm both flustered now.
Okay, now hold on. Go back
Okay.
to the old one because
bad.
Well, first of all, because we want to see the flippy thumb again. But just if you look at this messy code and then go to the next one and the clean code, and it does the exact same code, right? It does exactly this, and this is what I'm going to show you in the code in a minute. We're going to jump over to my screen once we finish the slides, but it does the exact same thing. So for our DOM course, we actually built out the entire thing with the messy code and with the clean code, so you can, and it looks exactly the same on the front, but just so you can see the difference. And really, but why, right? I mean, other than because the functionality has not changed at all. It's just cleaned up, right? And why did we? Because if you see like Sam, can you go back? You've got the DD search. There's a search bar here and the author list. It's all in one component, and now it's just broken out into child components. So this is all of the functionality in one component, and then the next one is all of the functionality split into child components. So other than splitting it out into child components and doing like one-way data binding instead of two-way data binding, we're not really changing things, right? We're just making it cleaner. Why? Does anybody want to come off mute and tell us why we would need to do that? Why do we care? Because this is something really, go back, Sam, go back to the messy code. This is really what we see when I was doing a lot of consulting. This is normal. I mean, the code works. What the heck, right? Because really, I think it gets a little bit more complicated when you start breaking it out into all of these different components, and you've got inputs and outputs and event emitters, and you got to have all that stuff. And if you have it here, it's just all one and you can see it, right? So this is really what we see out in the wild more often, but the clean one is really what we want. And so this is really what, like, well, why? Because this is how Samantha and I teach, right? Why? Okay, so let's keep going, Sam.
So this
See the thumb one more time. Go ahead, Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
Probably because of reusability.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ravioli code. This is ravioli code, and this is spaghetti code.
Yeah.
If you want to reuse any of this, that's like not gonna happen. But ta-da! Reusability. Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
That's not the only reason, but yes, that is a reason. Absolutely. Go ahead, Orson. Performance. Yes. Yes.
Testing.
Love it. You guys are great. Okay, let's keep moving.
All right. So this is DOM, you guys. Okay, so this is what we don't, basically the before is what this looks like at runtime. This is what he's doing. This is what DOM has to do. He has to filter all through every line of code and go through everything. He's stressed out, and basically the point of DOM in this course, we want him to be happy. We don't want him to be stressed. So the messy code, this is why we don't want to do that, because we want to keep him happy.
And I want this to be really easy for you, right? I've done enterprise architecture and all this really advanced stuff, but really we really try to keep these courses super simple. So basically, as an expert, what I want to say to you is keep your HTML clean and tidy. Angular will allow you to put a lot of business logic. Sam, can we flip back to the messy slow child and just look at the yellow highlights, right? There's a lot of business logic. There's a lot of moving parts. And this is where, if you go back, Sam, to DOM now getting all stressed out, this is what we see that where DOM's getting all stressed out, because there's all this stuff happening at runtime right there in the DOM. And so DOM's doing all this work. And to be clear, JavaScript is ridiculously fast, right? So if you do everything wrong as far as performance is concerned, you're really not going to see a performance issue unless you have a lot of code, right? So if you have a relatively small app, you don't need to follow any of the best practices. You can still get your code working with a lot of problems, or even if you're not following the best practices, the code will still probably work fine, and you won't really see performance issues until you get much bigger. But I've done a lot of enterprise architecture and enterprise consulting. And so I've seen what happens when you write code like this. You've got all this business logic and this messy stuff going on, and you get away with it until you have 100,000 lines of code in your app. And then it's just getting slower and slower and slower. And this is where I was like always reverse engineering it and trying to figure out why, right? Why is it slow? And I was like kind of learning this stuff backwards and learning how to keep it fast. And then I come and teach all of you how to write it very fast from the beginning and not wait until you have all this code to learn about performance. So why then do we break it up, right? Other than yes, performance and yes, reusability. But we also want to just kind of experiment with that a little bit more. And we want to talk about isolated change detection, which I didn't really care about that in the beginning. Sam, do you want to talk us through this one? I love this. I think this might be my favorite animation.
Well, one, it's just funny. Dom stressed out is I don't want to stress the poor guy out, but he's really funny when he's upset. But we don't want to do this. But so this is an animation of ngFor without TrackBy, which is not what we're going into. But I think we just wanted to show more of the, why did you want to have this?
What I really want, and one of the things, I mean, we have, and like I said, we're not showing all of the DOM course, but we go into like ngFor with TrackBy, why you should use TrackBy. And one of the biggest things really as an architect, and I have a lot of clients, architects, and, we go to Sonder, and we've had a lot of, Ask an Angular GDE and a lot of architecture discussions among the experts in the GDEs at conferences and stuff. And one of the biggest things that people ask us, especially when it comes to performance, really probably if you care about performance, it's because you're trying to display a lot of objects, right? Yeah? You might need to have a row of rows. You might have 5,000 rows, or you might have a lot of products, or you might have a lot of whatever it is, right? You have a lot of stuff to show on the page. And that's where we run into performance problems, right? And so if you have this big, long NG4, like we see the authors on the, remember this is just a like demo DOM that we made, right? This is not an actual app. This is just a super simple, it's all like lorem ipsum placeholder stuff. It's just for demonstration. So this is meant to be a very, very simple, and actually, if you look at the app in the background behind the ladder, this is actually live working code that we have. That, remember I said we're going to go jump over that in a minute. But for the purposes of this visual, what we want to say is that if you take a step back, kind of zoom out and look at the architecture, that if you're trying to show a big long thing, Sam, can you play it again? We're going way down the page, right? We can only see about 5 authors at once, right? And then we have to scroll down. Here's the thing that I want you to remember, other than keep your HTML files clean. Don't put all that business logic in the HTML because you're going to stress out DOM. But the other thing is, every time something changes, DOM is going to erase everything and then re-render all of that and repaint all of that every time you type something in the search bar, right? And so it has nothing to do with how fast you make your Angular code. Rendering the DOM takes a long time. So if you have like 9,999 items going way, exactly, Giant, exactly. If you have like so much that you're showing on the screen, especially if it's like dynamic or searchable or anything like that, there's a lot of painting it every time. And so that's really what this illustration is meant to display, is that you're painting the DOM all the way down. And Giant had the perfect answer. Like, I think you've seen this before, because one of the best ways that we can handle that is to use something like the CDK virtual scroll, or really just try, when you're talking to your clients, to guide them towards, let's not put 1,000 items on the page at once. Let's use pagination. Let's use a virtual scroll and keep the actual amount of information small.
So
But there are also ways that we can optimize it so that we can have a lot of stuff and search it and have all that functionality that you want. Go ahead, Sam.
This is with the virtual scroll, so it's just going down what you see, but it's still not perfect. So we had the thumb only went sideways on this one, but we flipped it all the way up when we did the NG4 with the CDK and the track by. So it's pre-filtering everything before it gets to him, and Dom only has to, he compares it to the old version with track by and just takes out, instead of repainting, he's not repainting anything, he's just taking out.
Can you pull that in, since we're talking about it? I think we weren't going to talk about that, but just if you can just grab that one more animation. Okay, so what she's saying is, because you guys know NG4 with track by, do you guys pay any attention to track by? I did not care about NG4 with track by. Like, I didn't use it. I was like, I don't know why I need it. I don't want it. And I saw it recommended a lot, but I didn't really use it because I didn't understand why I needed it. Did you find it, Sam?
Find what?
NG4 with track by, the other animation.
Oh, you can't see my screen. Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
We still see, yeah.
Yeah, I have it. I'm only sharing one tab.
I see now.
Share the entire screen. All right, here it is. Can you see my screen now?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
So with the virtual scroll, it looks like this. You're only going here. He's still repainting it, but he's only repainting what you can see on the screen. He's not going all the way down, which is better, but it's like I said, it's the halfway thumb. So all the thumbs, all the happy thumbs would be the track by with the CDK virtual scroll. And that looks like this. So he's only taking out what goes instead of repainting everything.
So this is actually a huge difference as far as performance. Number one, we're not going all the way down the page and re-rendering every damn thing with every mouse click, right? Number one, as well. Okay, so we're not going all the way down the page, but also we're only painting what's visible on the page with the virtual scroll, but we still have access to all of those items. And if we put that, and the track by is a tiny little bit of code, right? It's not a lot of code. It's so easy to implement, but I just didn't understand why I needed it. Sam, can you play that one more time? The difference, because remember he was erasing it and repainting it every time. And now the track by, yeah, that's without track by. He's got to erase it and repaint it every time something changes all the way down the page. And then with track by, look, he's got the index and he just pulls out whatever, and he's not re-rendering all of it. So that actually makes a big difference, especially if you have a large collection. And this is the thing, is just seeing that, right? Because you've probably seen track by, but it's seeing that visually, like it's actually a huge performance improvement.
Yeah.
And then we
got
just went
10
off on a
minutes.
tangent because we weren't
Yeah.
even going to show you that. So let's
We
go
have
back.
10 minutes to teach Angular's isolated change detection. So we gotta get moving. Okay. Okay, we're back. Are you ready?
Yep.
So that was track by. Complex pipes. So this animation was really fun because this is the first time I learned how to make glass, which is very exciting. But when you stack pipes, like pipes with just a date formatting is no big deal. Those will work great for ever. It's awesome. But when you put logic in the pipe, like a filtering pipe on top of a search pipe, those are the same. But like that's where it gets really complicated. And when your app scales, it's going to be jumbled like this. And just think about this visual, because your text has to go through like all of them.
You should try to get your get everything set up and filtered and everything in. So basically, I think there's a little bit of code for that on the next one. What you want to do is have like, no, that's not it. Never mind. Basically, you would have like let item of filtered items instead of filtering it all in the HTML. Remember, and basically the easy way to remember that is just keep your HTML as clean and simple as possible. So filter it before it gets there, and keep the pipes. If you're going to use a pipe, it should be super, super simple, like a date format or an uppercase or something like that. Only for formatting, really.
Yes, there's a lot more detail in the course. So avoiding impure pipes. This is where it gets exciting. So pipes are pure by default. So we are living on the dangerous side for this demo. And
we didn't, hold on, before we go into this, because you guys know already to avoid impure pipes, right? Everybody pretty much knows that. So this was not really like a big special thing that we needed to teach you, because you guys, I just want to acknowledge that we know that you know that. But really, how does it work and why? And we were trying to, because this was just one of the guidelines. We're trying to do like, all the best practices and guidelines and stuff like that before we jump into the really cool stuff. So this was one of the best practices and guidelines. But while we were getting the code to work and I wanted to show you the difference between impure and pure, we actually stumbled across something else that was really cool.
Yes, there will be a plot twist.
Plot twist?
Thank you for the preface. I'd be lost without you. All right.
Yeah, me too, man.
Okay, here we go. Now, impure pipes. This, so it's just going from a camel case to a stylized, super simple, but it goes down, like, this is like the NG4. Every time you click something, every time you use the search bar, it's gonna redo all of these all the way down the page, even if you're not looking at it.
If it's impure.
If it's impure. This is in the messy slow child, right?
Yeah.
This is what we want to avoid. And it was matching up, our app, our demo was matching up exactly, because the animations and the app have to match up for this to be taught properly. So everything was going great, avoiding impure pipes, and it was broken just like it should have been. And
but no, but it wasn't.
Plot twist. No, it was in the messy slow child. Okay, sorry.
Okay. So let's switch over and figure out how we broke it, right? Let me oh, hold on. I also need to
your turn.
All right, here.
We need to like pass screen share. Pass the ball or something.
All right. So we got a little bit of code here. Let's turn on our oops, hold on. No, I just need to do an ng serve here. ng sub. I hope the demo works. I should have fired that up before. Sorry.
We've got elevator music.
Do it again.
Doobie doobie doo, ba doobie doobie doo.
We need Val with his beatboxing.
I know, man. Nothing's the same without Val. Can we have APAC and Africa in the same? Can we have a crossover international.
Yeah, the only problem is the time zones, but they're pretty, as long as like if well, really, because Africa's awake. So if we can get Africa to come a little bit earlier so that, because we just don't want APAC doing stuff in the middle of the night. But yeah, I'm sure we can do it.
Compiled.
Okay. Can you guys see my
Woohoo.
screen?
Yes.
We're in. Okay, so here we are, right? So remember, hold on, let's go to the code. This is the messy slow child that we saw, right? And this is the clean fast child. And so the only thing, why can't Eileen see my screen? Because can everybody else see my screen?
I can see it, yes, quite clear on my side.
Well, there's yeah, there's buttons where you can change the layout of your own screen, I think, maybe.
Okay, and we're recording too, so it's
Yes.
okay, so we've got the messy slow child, and just to be clear, right, when we go in here and look at this clean fast child, the reason why the clean fast child is so nice and beautiful is because we just broke it into components. We got the article list, the article card, we got authors list and card, we got the search component, and and this is super simple, right? It's just very you know, we're not it's meant to be simple. So basically we've got this clean fast child, we've got this messy slow child, and look at the, where is it? The sentence case pipe. Do we see it? Here it is.
This is title code. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the UI. It's all lorem ipsum stuff. These are auto-generated avatars, and they come with, I don't know if that's big enough. They come with their own little thing, right? And if I click on this show more, or if I click anywhere, it's gonna show all of them. So remember, this is auto-generated, and I'm using some third-party lib for this, and they all come with, and this is the same thing that we saw in Samantha's animation, right? The sentence case pipe, if we remove that sentence case pipe, switch between children. It's just yeah, super simple. So all the sentence case pipe does is it splits it out into sentence case. Save it. Okay, so let's go look at that sentence case pipe real quick. Okay. So this is currently pure by default. And so what happens now, let's leave it pure and let's do a little console log and see how many times it runs when it's pure, if there's a console log.
I'm so excited.
Okay, we have 5, right? We have 5 authors. Bring this out again. Oops. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with 5 attributes each. And so it runs 25 times. Yeah, super simple. And we see it's what it's doing. This is the input and this is the output. And we see the console log here with the output and input and the count. Yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, it's going to keep the count. We're at 25. I'm going to clear it out. And then I'm going to expand 1. How many times will it run? Anybody want to guess?
Is it pure or impure?
It's pure by default.
Okay, so
how many times will it run with the pure pipe?
Another 5. I mean, another additional pipe we need to run through, I think.
Well, it's going to show 15 after because it's showing 5 and then
so
it's going to show 15. So
yeah, 25 plus 15.
So 25 plus 15.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the 25 we already have, so it'll be 50. Well, let's look. Okay, so we had 25, and now we went to 39. So it went. So it was 15.
Yes, exactly. Correct. Looks great.
Because it's a pure pipe.
Yep.
Right. So does that make sense? So so now we're going to clear it out again, and I'm going to now collapse it back down. How many will it run? If I collapse it back down. Anybody?
5.
Okay, let's see. 5. 5. Wait, 3? What? Hold on. Yeah, 5. It did 5 because okay, so when we clear it out, so originally let's refresh it. It's gonna do 25 when the page loads, 1 for each. So basically every time you see it on the page, even if it's down here, it's going to run for everything. So 5 times 5, 25. And then when we clear it out and we expand 1, it's going to run 15 more times. Clear it out again, we're going to collapse it back down and it's going to run 5. Yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah?
And then
Makes
we're going to make it
sense?
impure and break everything. And it's going to
So
be
it
ugly.
runs all of them when the page loads, and then it just runs the one that we're clicking because it's pure. Because it's pure.
Mhm.
So if it's impure, then now what's going to happen? It will still run 25 when the page loads, right? If it's impure.
Right? But then every time you click anything, it's also going to run 25, right?
All right, let's try it.
It will run all
So
of
if it's
them. I
if
agree.
it's an impure pipe, then it's going to run everything on the page. Anytime we touch anything, it's going to read out all of them. Is that your understanding too?
Yes. Everything's going to run. It's going to be a mess. A whole mess.
Okay, we got 25 now. Let's clear
Mhm.
them out. We just did this.
Mhm. 25
And
more.
and now it's gonna run all of them, right?
It's going to be like 50. Yeah.
No. It did
What the
15
heck?
again.
What the heck?
But it's impure. What the heck? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Clear it out again. And now we're gonna collapse it.
What the heck,
So
yo?
I just want, okay, for anyone who's confused right now, I want you to know, as a like Angular expert GDE type person who's been doing this for years, I had to call Sonder for help. I was like, what the hell? Because it's impure and it's not doing, and I was getting really mad. And I'm like, how am I supposed to teach this if it doesn't work? What the heck? I was so
Supposed to be
upset.
broken.
So I want to stop here for a minute, and I just want to acknowledge, if anybody's confused, I was because look, it's impure. Why are they telling us not to use it? It's the same damn thing. What the heck? So I just want to stop here for a minute and see if anybody can tell us what's going on right here. Does anyone want to guess? Even if you're
I
not
do.
sure? No, Samantha, not you. Anybody else?
I think the parameters are memoized.
The parameters are memoized.
Yeah, with pure, but impure just is triggered by change detection. Anywhere you touch on the screen, it just runs the function.
So like, even if it's not changing the pipes, but oh wait, no, now they come back when they come back. It's an 83. If we say Shannon, and then we clear it out,
And it should be 25
then
more.
it's running again.
Mhm.
But why, if it's at 117, right? And then I clear it out and I collapse it, and it's impure, but it's only running for this one. What's up with that?
Is it because it is just a string and then usually like it different, like when you pass in an object and then you don't change the object reference, it's not gonna trigger, and then you wanted to make it impure, but string it's just the same thing anyway. I guess I don't know.
I know. I was real like
That is
I did
weird.
not know.
I never tested.
Samantha's
to be
head's gonna
honest.
explode. So I'm gonna let Samantha tell us, because remember, I actually had to go to Sonder and say, why won't this is like, I was so frustrated because look at the code. It's so simple. Like, it's the simplest pipe in the world. And why isn't it working? Samantha, please tell us.
Isolated change detection.
Isolated change detection. You know why?
Isolated
You know what
change
Sonder said, you
detection.
guys? Look, you're on
He
the
said,
clean fast child. Let's
It just
see.
works
Now
too
this
well.
is real. Okay, let's see what the hell is going to happen if we go to the messy slow child. Okay, hold on. We've got too many. No, we've got how many here? Wait, we got to clear it out. All right, let's So we have 5, right?
Can we refresh it so we can start from 0 and have
Yeah,
a
but I think it's gonna go straight to the messy slow child, but that's okay. Okay, so we got 25. Let's go to the messy slow child. Okay.
All right.
Now we've got 50 because we just did 5 more. So we're gonna clear them out. Remember we got 5 authors, right? So now we're gonna
Right.
expand one. We're at 50. So what's it gonna be? If we expand it, it adds 15. So it's gonna go from 50 to 65, 64, whatever, right? Oh, no. It just ran them all again. And now if we clear it out at 84 and we collapse it and get the
It's just a
5, it's going to run them all again.
Impure.
So,
Yes.
So when we go, because remember we were like, why the hell isn't that impure? Because we weren't on the messy slow child. So if you think about it, because let's look at this code again, right? Remember this monstrosity? Because we have the NG4, all of this inside. So basically the whole entire page is going to rerun again. But when we go over here and look at that clean fast component, where is the sentence case inside that author card? And even if it's impure, Angular is actually going to keep that inside of the author card. So this is, according to what Saunders said, this is a really good illustration of the benefit of isolated change detection, because Angular is actually going to handle change detection inside of each component. So I thought this was very interesting, and it's really a good illustration of why, because remember we started with this, the messy slow child, and we talked about why do we want to break it down into smaller components? What's the point of that? Well, other than the fact that it's visually pleasing and beautiful, because it actually is going to give you a performance boost, but it's really hard to understand like how that actually works. And so I think this messy slow child and the pipe situation really shows you how, imagine now if we went to that, hold on, let's do it. We go to the messy slow. I know we're running out of time and we're almost done.
1 million items.
Let's just put 50. That's not even a lot, y'all. That's not even that much, right? Let's just put 50 and then go back and look at that. Look at that. That's just with 50 and it's running over and over and over again. And then imagine, and look at that, right? Imagine if you had 100 or 300, and this is just a little bit, and every time it runs, it's going all the way down the page. And remember, okay, I think this makes sense. Samantha, can we just go real, because I think, hold on, let's stop and see if we have any questions, because I want you to just go back and show us one more time. Because remember the pipe animation that Samantha showed, where you've got that pipe going all the way down the page and doing all of that. And so that's really what I want you to avoid when you're writing the code. First of all, don't put anything all the way down the page and make people scroll down, because you have to render all of that. I'm going to stop presenting. Sam, turn your screen share on 1 second. And now that we've talked through the code, I want you to just go back and look one more time real quick at Samantha's animations so that it can cement in your brain and stay there forever.
Yes, ma'am.
Because this really gives the animations, I think, a new, because see how this is why Samantha and I are such a good team, because it's the animations that go together with the code. So what we want to do is we want to avoid having so much content below the fold. Don't render all that stuff down there if they can't see it. Just use a virtual scroll, right?
Yep.
And then also, can we see the guy on the ladder one more time?
Yeah.
And we're talking about how we had to, and we saw that, right? Well, we didn't see him doing all of that, but we see when he's redoing all of that logic in the sentence case pipe. And the sentence case pipe itself is very, very, very simple. But the point really here is not even all about, we're not even talking about impure pipes. We're talking about isolated change detection and how to keep everything clean, and how Angular really will benefit from that.
And it's just so fun to say.
Isolated change detection.
Isolated change detection.
I will never, ever, ever forget that, because I had to call Sonder and say, why is this? Because Saunder's really busy, so it takes me a while to call him and tell him when I'm stuck. And he was like, it's because isolated change detection. You can turn off your screen share.
Hi.
Hi.
What's
What do you
up,
guys think of
everyone?
that?
That's
We're done.
awesome. Okay, I selected change detection. Okay, I think I know
Isolated
it. But
change detection.
I
This
have
is
one more
and
slide.
really I want to give a shout out really to Samantha with her dyslexia, because before Samantha came along, I really would just show you code. And so this, like, having a visual and really stepping back and saying, like, why does it work like that? And Samantha being dyslexic, like, I can't just show her the code. We have to actually talk about what it looks like under the hood. And a lot of Angular is abstract. So there's no, you can't see it. What the hell does dependency injection actually look like, you guys? Like, what? So I think it's really helpful to just kind of visualize how all this works, and that's where the Shiny Robot came in, and I hope you like it.
I really like it. I'm not sure about
Yep.
everyone. You guys can unmute and say out loud your thought.
Thanks, guys.
We love it.
Appreciate it.
So
Oh, the
lovely.
robot loved you too, Eileen.
Pretty lovely.
We already have the next. So we have the architect training, which we've run now 8 times. And architect training. This is not architect training. This course is from the DOM course. The DOM course has a lot more code and a lot more visuals. The architect training also has a lot of visuals, but the architect training is like, after I came off of 5 years of enterprise consulting and I saw them all doing the same things wrong. They were making, a lot of Angular teams are making the same mistakes. And so I took all of those mistakes and made them into, like, don't do this, do this. If you're gonna lead a big team in Angular, this is what you need to know. That's architect training. And then we made the DOM course. The DOM course was really, it started out, it was called Advanced DOM Manipulation, because it's kind of the stuff that I think a lot of Angular developers are not using. And this was a little snippet of it, but we actually go into some really cool code in the DOM course. And so the whole entire DOM course is, we go back and forth between Samantha's animations and my code, and they match. And so we just try to, go back and forth like that. And the last section of the DOM course was actually some really cool code that Alex Rickabaugh helped me with that we go into, like, content projection and, all that kind of stuff. And it's, what do you call it? Does anybody know View Container Ref? Are you guys using that?
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah. So we go into that, but we're, like, actually showing it with the anime. It's really, actually, I don't think we have animations for that, but we do have a lot of code samples and everything like that. We talk about it in office hours. Okay. The next course that Samantha is, like, itching, because we're doing, so we did, shout out to Natty. We did a couple of promo videos, and we're just about to release those. We've got the job fair, by the way, coming up
I'm
this
done rapping.
Saturday.
No more rapping.
Yeah. And but Samantha's like, I'm done doing promo videos. I'm done with the video editing, because she really wants to get started on the next course. Because now we have 2 courses. Because we want to make more courses, obviously. Sam, what are we doing next?
What's up? RxJS.
RxJS. Okay, but we're gonna teach RxJS in a different way than you guys have ever learned RxJS before, right? You're gonna be like RxJS masters, like samurais, right? It's gonna be really cool. And we're gonna be also meeting with Ben Lesh, and he's gonna be helping us with that. But I would like to hear from you guys. Is there anything else? Because I told Samantha one day, if she really does this for a while, and that people are going to say, Samantha, I want you to teach us this, and Samantha, I want you to teach us that. So if you guys have anything in particular that you would like animated, you should let us know so that we can put it on the list. Anybody have anything in particular that you want animated? We haven't. Okay, Wayne, listen, I just want to tell you, because this happens every time, right? We took a month off after we did the architect training. Well, first of all, the architect course took us 6 months. And then we took a month off and we said, we're going to do the advanced DOM manipulation course. And then once we're done with it, then we're going to run them both. And we planned a month, and it took every bit of 6 months. So I could tell you that RxJS is going to be here in a month, and I would be lying, because it takes a long time. It always does. We always think it's going to take a month. It always takes 6 months. You cannot rush Samantha. because she'll just get stressed out and it's not a good situation.
I'm like
But
Dawn with the little red blinky light.
yeah,
No
it
problem.
does
We'll
take
wait.
a
We'll
long
wait.
time to make this content, but it's not just because it's not just the code. Like we have to figure out how we're going to visualize this, how we're going to show it. It's a lot of creativity and it's a lot of those 3D animations, really each frame, like it's a lot. But yeah, RxJS coming up next.
Okay, we'll wait.
We would. I mean, if you wanted to have a hard deadline, you can do a form for people to, like pre-purchase it or something, like pre-sale, do pre-sale, and then said we are gonna launch it after 2 months, and you have to do it after 2 months.
No, you would see both of us having meltdowns
see my
and
head
crying
explode.
and like, running away from home, and we would just
Smoking
like
in
go
a corner.
offline. Like, where did Bonnie and Sam go? Oh, they're having a nervous breakdown.
They
We cannot
self-destructed.
take your money and then like we'll just go crazy. Like,
Nope.
we can't
take
handle
the
that kind of
money
pressure.
When it's
You have
ready.
to wait. But it's going to be worth it. Trust me,
There'll be a
RxJS is
tiny
not going
robot.
anywhere. It will still be
And,
there. It's going to be great. And then we'll do another course after that. We'll keep on doing more courses, and we're just having a lot of fun.
Yes, we are having a lot of fun.
Sure. Anyone have any
Question?
question for the speaker?
We've been talking a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I
Natty.
Hey. So
Hey, Natty.
there's been this Medium article that's been going around lately in my company about using pipes instead of functions in the HTML code, and I I really don't like it. I remember, David, when you were showing the animation of the messed up pipes, but I didn't catch the best argument to fight against it, to go with only pipes where pipes are needed, or maybe I didn't get the purpose of it.
You could show them this video, because I think really the best argument is, I used to get really frustrated sometimes with my clients because they're paying me a lot of money and then they would argue with me and they wouldn't listen to me. And I went to Justin Schwarzenberger, my friend Shorty from Angular Air, and I was like, how do I convince them to listen to me? And he said, you have to teach them in a way that they understand. And really, like, this stuff is very confusing. It was confusing for me, and I've been doing this for years, right? And this is why we have the visuals. And so hopefully, if you teach them the way that you say, this helped me understand, then it will help them. And I think hopefully the visuals, because really it's about, and I think like the isolated change detection, and the pure and impure pipe and everything, like it really shows why you should keep it all clean. But really on a, I always say, let's zoom out, right? If we zoom out and we look at performance, that I never cared about performance until I got into big, massive enterprise projects. And then I would come into these big, huge projects, and like their Angular is really slow and glitchy. It takes a long time to load and all that kind of stuff. And I have worked in some very large projects, right? And I've had clients that say, well, it's slow because there's a lot going on the page. And I'm like, no, that's no excuse. No, you could have a lot going on the page. You could have all kinds, you could have badass Angular applications that are screaming fast, right? So don't say there's a lot going on the page, because I've seen like incredibly fast Angular apps, right? So really, I really kind of learned all this stuff backwards, because when I was consulting, I would come into a client that's already got, tens of thousands of lines of code, and then say, why is it so slow? And then I would have to kind of figure it out. And so going from team to team like Mary Poppins and seeing this over and over and over again, that really I started to understand. And I also did a bunch of conference talks about performance. And so I was really able to take it down to actually timing, like if we do it like this versus if we do it like this, like what is the actual difference? And here's the thing, Natty, it's very difficult to do that, because you really, did you see my need for speed? And you did in the architect course too, right? That if you, what I was trying to do was I was trying to show it wrong and then fix it all on stage and look really cool and then show it so much faster. And what I was having a problem with was when I did everything wrong, it was still very, very fast. And that's where I kind of ran into a problem teaching it, because you don't see the performance problems until you have thousands of lines of code. So you can trust me because I've done this a lot. But I mean, I think really understanding why it's like this, right? And that's why I really like to see the visuals of, because this has really shown us a little bit. We talked about isolated change detection, but really what we talked about was the messy versus the clean, right? Why should you write it like that? Why should you break it down into smaller pieces? Because even if your pipes are whacked, that you're going to get away with it more. But if you have that big, massive, everything's thrown into one, then it's going to cause problems. So hopefully if you show this to them, that would be helpful.
Yes, I will be staying tuned to the YouTube channel, waiting for the video to go up.
And especially the one that DOM where like DOM's all stressed out with the red blinky light. This is really why. It's because all of that business logic is happening at runtime, and DOM is out there in the front. Let the guys back in the TypeScript file get it all ready for him, and then all he has to do is show it. And then if you do let item of filtered items, there's no business logic. Just show the items. It's easier. So the only thing that you should use pipe for is display, not any kind of business logic, sorting, filtering, nothing like that. Put all that behind the curtain and just keep DOM super not stressed. Let him be, the HTML should be very simple.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I apply all of that, all of that best practice into my Angular Spotify application on GitHub. You can look into it.
I think that's really a good demo. I love that Angular Spotify app. Maybe better than the actual Spotify. I don't know. No, we can't say that. We're friends with Craig Spence. I don't want him to hear that. But it's really cool. Well, this was really fun. I think we're at the top of the hour, but thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I hope that this was helpful.
Yeah,
and if you like it,
our Angular Spotify.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
And come sign up for our advanced DOM manipulation course. And we also have sliding scales and scholarships. Premium training is because it's in US dollars and it can be kind of crazy. So let us know if you need help with that.
I signed the AngularNation.net. You haven't seen it before, so go ahead and create an account. And yeah, with that, I think we conclude the event today. Thanks again for everyone who's turning in. Appreciate your time, and especially thanks for our speaker, Bonnie and Sam. Yeah, we already have a good time, and I'll see you on the October event. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, John.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bonnie.
Bye. Thank you, guys. Bye.
I need to stop recording.
Okay. Good luck with that. You got this.
Usually I just forgot, but yeah.
Bye, guys.